It's a pleasure to see that in a mainstream oncology conference, the organizers have seen fit to include a session on communication. Because you all know communication is so important and such a vital part of our daily interaction with patients. Ms. Dimple Parmar is a co-founder and CEO of Zen Onco IO and Love Heals Cancer. She's an alumnus of IIM Kolkata and a TEDx speaker. She's worked with the Bank of New York Mellon and Reliance Industries. She's also been awarded the Top 100 Healthcare Leader Award. Having been a cancer caregiver herself, her philosophy is in one sentence: at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many years you live. What matters is how much you live in those years. Ms. Dimple will speak on this very important topic of breaking news to a cancer patient. Over to you, Ms. Dimple.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and for me it's even more special because right in front of Bhagwan Mahavir Hospital there is a college, MNIT, and that's where I spent 4 years when I was doing my undergraduation. Never visited the hospital. I never thought that a day would come where I will be the speaker on such a amazing platform, sharing stage with all of you. So thank you so much. My journey started when my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It was 3 years back when I was studying at IIM Calcutta, and that's where I was sitting at a place where most of the patients and caregivers are today when they get to know that it's cancer. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to talk about two things. One is how can we break the news to the family, to the patient about cancer, and second is what a caregiver and patient can do once they are diagnosed with this. Thank you so much. So one thing which doctors and caregivers can do when they get to know that a patient has been diagnosed with cancer, whether we need to decide first whether to disclose it to the caregiver or to the patient or both of them together. When we are disclosing it to the patient, we need to ensure that at least one of the other close family member is present there. I remember when it was disclosed to me, I was alone sitting in doctor's office and Nitesh was doing the PET scan. And that's the time when doctor told me that it's a 4th stage and the prognosis is not good. And I was alone crying in the hospital, running here and there, and I was trying to avoid Nitesh because I did not know how would he take this news. So it's important that one of the other members is also present when we are disclosing the news. For me, it was important to use the simple and clear language because there were even metastasis word I couldn't understand at that time. So it's important that we use the simple words which patients are or the caregivers are able to understand, and giving full attention to the patient or caregiver while disclosing the news helps a lot. Many times telling them honestly about the severity of the condition so that they prepare for the worst, they prepare for the outcome or what's going to happen next in the best possible manner helps a lot. And at the same time giving hope, realistic hope to the patients and caregivers also helps. Focusing on the facts because they do a lot of research online. I did it, many others do it all the time, and many times we miss on the important facts, or we get misguided by all the information which is available out there. So focusing on the facts, telling it to the patient and caregiver about the facts about this cancer and how in a very positive manner, so that when they are going through the shock of diagnosis, they take it easy and they get a sense of relief that okay, something can be done here. And also mentioning that the cancer is treatable. If it is curable, then yes, it's curable. And almost in every case, there are people who have survived even last stage cancer. In many of the cases, it has happened. We are connected to many survivors when they had only 6 months to live, 1.5 months to live, and here they are from last so many years with us at the part of community. So giving those examples helps a lot. That's the ray of hope the patient gets when they are diagnosed. Also, one other thing, many times, I've seen that to me, the entire treatment plan was not being shared. We were only being told that there'll be radiation, depending on the outcome will be surgery, and then depending on the outcome will be chemo. And that we got to know as and when it came. But now that I'm working with cancer patients, there's another beautiful angle which I'm seeing, and also it might help other doctors as well, that patients, when they come for the multiple opinions, they tend to go with the doctor who has told them the clear treatment path. That this is going to happen first, and then this, and then this, and then this. And they were like, oh my God, this doctor is really good because they have clarity on my entire treatment plan. but all the disclaimer that depending on the outcome of the next treatment, we'll see what exactly needs to be done, but this is how it looks like. So answering all of their queries, because that's the time they get tons of queries about what's going to happen next. And one of the most worrisome factor is the cost, because it's unfortunately the cost is such that many people are not able to afford. So giving up a fair, or maybe some idea about the cost of the treatment, or maybe guiding them cost involved with different hospitals, how much it might cost them, or guiding them in the initial direction will be really helpful for patients, because we get all these queries that yes, I really like this doctor, but then cost is very high at this hospital. So if doctors can also guide them, because they are the first people patient interact with, that's really helpful for them. Another thing which patients and caregivers really want in that time is compassion. So maybe holding their hands, or maybe whatever helps that patient in that time, in that environment, in that moment, to show some empathy, some compassion, that yes, I understand. And doctors, oncologists have been seeing thousands of cases like this. So for patient, it's just one person, just one loved one who is going through this. So that really make a big difference when they are entering into this whole new world of cancer. And also when I was sitting with doctor and I was being told that no matter what we do, the prognosis is not good, and it's 6 months, and some percentage, 25%, 5 years, and many other things. And I wanted to understand, but the environment or the movement was such that I couldn't understand much of it at that time, because maybe I wanted to take a pause. I wanted to vent out the feelings, the emotions, and that this just cannot happen. So that helps patients. And in the entire process, because we meet the doctor first when we have been told about this, and then we meet second time, third time to the same doctor about the next plan. And by that time we have more questions. At that time, focusing on the patient's anxiety and emotions also help a lot. Also, people, when they are diagnosed, they don't know about the chemotherapy, they don't know about side effects. They just know that it's not good, they just know that it's scary, because that's what people have been get information from other places. But then also giving the assurance that now, because of the integrative approaches or the complementary therapies, the side effects can be very well managed. So, and the entire treatment can be managed well if we do the right treatment at the right time in a very integrative manner. So that type of assurance, that type of guidance gives them a sense of relief that okay, I have a bit of idea now how to take that first step in this direction. Most important thing what I wanted to know in that journey, when I got to know about cancer, I wanted to connect with other survivors, because yes, doctors have amazing information, great education, great experience, but always and always patient want to talk to the similar type of survivors, because that's how they get more confidence about how this treatment is going to work, or what are the challenges which I might face in this journey. So if survivors give their consent, which many of the survivors, they do tell doctor that yes, I'm fine now, you can share my number with anybody who is in need, because they also want to give back to society. So that can be shared, because it helps big time when somebody is diagnosed. They want to talk to other survivors and other caregivers as well. Also, when I was the caregiver, I did not know that how can I really help my husband. What all things do I do, because I don't know about it. So and doctors have been managing a lot of patients who have been going through the similar situation. So if a caregiver gets that information from the doctor beforehand, when they are diagnosed, the family, when they get the information that here are the 10 ways or 20 ways, maybe giving them a flyer about those 20 ways which will help the patient when they are when caregiver wants to support. So giving them an initial direction that here are the ways you can help your patient when they are diagnosed. And because they want to do it, they want to give everything to that patient, whatever it takes to save their lives, whatever it takes to give them comfort, give them love, give them care, compassion, and whatever is needed to navigate through that journey easily, and embracing that yes, it has happened, now I'm here for you to take care of this. So that guidance can be given by the team, hospital team. And Also, it's important to tell patient that you are going to do a lot of research, I know that, and you are going to come across a lot of things which might not be true. So trust only reputed research centers and the research papers which are coming from the reputed organizations. That's very important, because they are new diagnosed, they don't know what is true, what is not true, and they want to do everything together to save that patient, and then they tend to follow everything together. And we have many community groups where patients do interact with each other, and I see every day how much of misguidance or misleading information is being shared there. Just because it worked on some person, not necessary that all those therapies will work on this person as well. But that it's important to tell patient that trust only repeated research from the good institutes. And another important thing is patient, when I was the caregiver, I got to know I wanted to start treatment immediately, like this day or tomorrow. Please, doctor, start the treatment. I would try all the contacts to see that I get all the reports as soon as possible. Keep my patient on priority and get the reports. It was like that because I thought I'm running out of time. But then this can be, if the treatment can be postponed by a few days, which in some cases it can. So it's important to tell patient that it's okay, we can do it next week or maybe for so many days, but don't rush into the treatment. Take some time and then do it. So these are the some things which definitely helps caregivers and patients. It helped me. So this is what I wanted to share. Now the next part is about something which is good for caregivers, at the same time doctors. For caregivers, if it comes from the doctors, that's really good, because the caregivers are the people who plan the entire treatment. They are the one who take care of everything around the patient, be it the financials, be it the medical treatment or food or emotional wellness or everything. So these are some of the steps which we all go through when we are diagnosed. One comes is shock. So the shock of treatment. So if possible, postponing the non-emergency decisions, that obviously they have to discuss with doctor if they can postpone it by a few days to sort out other things, and making sure the financials are in place and relatives and whoever is needed at that time are there. And then when the patient emotional mental wellness is in balance, and that time when patient is willing to take the treatment, that time they start it. Of course, the counseling and whatever is needed in that time to make the patient mentally ready for that is needed. So it's important to recover from the shock, and for that stay warm, eat good food, and practicing some deep breathing helps a lot of patients. Many times there is a lot of pain of the tumor of the cancer, especially when it is the late stage. So, and the modern medicines are very advanced, so there are medicines which are available to control the pain. So probably the doctors and caregivers can guide on that front. And also the complementary approaches that may help in this regard to take care of that pain when it is minimal, or when it can be managed from the other approaches before they take the painkillers. Another important point is asking the oncologist how long you can wait before you actually start the treatment. Often one can take several weeks or more to consider the options, because it's important to fully understand all the choices which are available. If the case is complex, if there is no straightforward treatment option out there, then it's important, and doctor can very well help the patient when they come up with a lot of queries. Can I do this, can I do that, and guiding them through that entire path. Anxiety and depression are very common. It happens with us every day when they don't want to do the treatment, they are too scared to do it. So some of the activities like exercise, meditation, talking to family and friends or the other survivors, finding a therapist, going out and spending some time in the nature, and just taking a step back and really seeing what's really going to help me. And if I'm the caregiver, I would first say that, okay, what my patient or my loved one would love to do in that time when there's a lot of stress and a lot of things are going on in this phase. Getting a second opinion is very important. Patient take fourth, fifth, and nth opinion as well, especially the opinion on the pathology reports from the doctor who is expert for the type of cancer the patient is diagnosed with. So and another important part is alternative cancer therapies. So many times patients do this mistake of directly going for the alternative therapies when conventional treatment, the medical treatment has cure, and it promises that yes, it's curable, it's curative treatment is what I'm going to give you. But still, if there are potentially curative options are available, prefer them over alternative cancer therapies. And the best is to integrate these two in such a manner that overall it increases the clinical efficacy of the medical treatment, At the same time, it manages the side effects of the cancer and the cancer treatment. And another thing is when the last part is when you are diagnosed, you don't know now how to navigate in this whole new world of cancer. So during that time, it's always good to connect with other people who have been working in this field, because they will have a lot of support groups or counselors or survivors who are advocates now or navigators now, who know that what all things might help you. So you will get an initial direction, a first step towards your this whole new field of cancer or whole new world, is what I would say. So it's good to have keep an informed decision, and two three key people who can help in this. One is oncologist, because patients first talk to them about the cancer and the treatment and everything. Second is your caregiver, because they are with the patient all the time taking care of them. And the third is if you have any other support group with you. So those kind of support groups really helps, because when we see in our support groups patients who are diagnosed and they just come and ask a lot of questions, and there are many other people who are answering those questions because they have gone through the similar journey, and it makes so much of easy for them. Because even when I was the caregiver and Nitesh was diagnosed with it, I joined a couple of groups. If those people can go through it, then Nitesh can also go through it. So that's important to be a part of support groups. And and I think together patient, and this is how I think breaking the news to the patient, at the same time giving them hope and a plan what to do now, really helps a lot. That's all from me. Thank you so much, Dr. Dhar, Bhagwan Mahavir Hospital, CP Singh ji, and everyone for this opportunity, and I hope that this was helpful. Thank you.